Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. I hope you guys are doing amazing out there on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Today, I want to talk to you guys about morals and ethics as it relates to marketing. Look, this is going to be a weird conversation. I'm not going to lie to you. Big Andy Rockhurst in the house. What is up, my man? This is not going to be an easy conversation because there's so many different opinions about what is ethical and what is not. But let me start it here, okay? In the real world, if you think about our ethics, Big James in the house, Robert, Gustav, what's going on, you guys? In the real world, our ethics don't really get challenged. We know what's good and what's bad, and for the most part, most of us just stay on a good, healthy path, and we live a pretty good life. In the world of marketing, though, things are different. In the world of marketing, your ethics and your morals will be tested. It's a whole different thing. It's not like real life where you never really get tested. In the world of marketing, you're tested all the time. You're all the time. And the more leverage you have and the more powerful your business becomes, the more you can be tested. And that's just the way it is. The more knowledge you have, the more money that's thrown in your face, the more you can be tested. And that's just the way it is. And to tell the story, I want to talk about a question my son asked me a month or two ago. He asked me, he said, "Hey, Dad, what is your favorite superhero?" Because my son's 10, and he's always asking me questions. He asks me questions like this all the time, right? He just, "Hey, Dad, what would you do if blah, 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 blah?" And he asks me these weird questions, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But he asked me the other day who my favorite superhero was, and I said, I don't really know because I like them all so much. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, honestly, to be honest with you, it's Conan. It's Conan. Conan's my favorite. Conan the Barbarian. Now I have a new superhero to add to that list now. What's up, Philip? It's going down. I got a new superhero to add to that list now, and I'll tell you guys who that is on this video. But let me continue the story. So it was Conan, and why is Conan my favorite? Is that even a superhero? And some of you guys might not even know who Conan is. Conan was super old school. This character was created back in the 30s. Most of you guys probably know who Conan the Barbarian is. But what you might not know was that he was created by a guy named Robert E. Howard back in like the 30s. And Robert E. Howard was a strange kind of guy. He only lived to be I think he only lived to be 30 years old. And Robert E. Howard was a troubled guy. He ended up taking his own life. So he was a troubled guy, and he only lived to be 30. He took his own life. But before he did that, he did something amazing. He wrote all these stories about this character named Conan the Barbarian. And the thing about Conan was a vicious son of a gun. I mean, he was a vicious son of a gun. Yeah, nobody beat Conan. Conan beat everybody. And Conan did what he wanted, and Conan was a warrior who lived by a code. What I liked about Conan was Conan, he didn't always follow the rules, and he most definitely didn't always follow the system. But he had a sense in his mind for what was right and what was wrong. And he lived by that code no matter what anybody else thought. That's just the way he did it, right? And that was Conan the Barbarian. And that's always kind of been my favorite superhero. And we can call him a superhero because the dude never loses. I mean, you ever read any of that Conan stuff? The guy don't lose. So lately I've been watching these John Wick movies, and you guys that's probably old hat for you guys. They've been out for a while, but I'm just now catching on to the John Wick thing, right? So I watched John Wick #1 a few like maybe a month ago, And I just watched John Wick 2 last night, and I didn't want to watch John Wick 2 because when I watched the first John Wick, I enjoyed the movie so damn much. I thought the sequel was not going to be very good. I didn't think it was going to be very good, so I kind of dragged my feet, and I didn't really want to watch it. But then I watched it last night, and I was like, oh my God, dude, this movie is so freaking awesome. It was so good. James says he likes the cartoon. He's probably talking about Conan. So freaking John Wick, man. John Wick 1 and John Wick 2. Holy cow, man. Those movies are awesome. But anyways, John Wick is, I think, probably my second favorite superhero besides Conan the Barbarian, followed by a close third. You got to love Captain America, right? You got to love the Captain. Come on now. You got to give it up for the Captain. But the point is, John Wick, man. John Wick is a lot like Conan the Barbarian. He is a vicious son of a gun. Right? This cat kills everybody who crosses him, but John Wick lives by code. You ever notice John Wick lives? My wife gave me this dog, and now you cats took my dog, and you killed my damn dog, and you stole my damn car. John Wick's like, he's all about an eye for an eye, and he lives by this code. And you cross this cat, and you're gonna get it. That's the bottom line. You are not gonna like what happens if you cross this cat. But if you don't cross this cat, you're cool. You're cool. John Wick's fine with everybody. He's a nice guy, but don't cross this dude because he's a killer. So, anyways, you think about that first movie, and then you think about going to the second movie. I watched the second movie last night, and what happens? The movie starts off with him getting his car back, and I was like, dude, that's classic. That's amazing that they did that. This cat lives by a code, and that's one thing I forgot about the first movie. At the end of the first movie, he was like, yeah, I'll be seeing you. John Wick lives by a code, and in his mind, he was like, you still got my car, you son of a B. And he was going to get that damn car back. He was going to get that damn car back. At the end of the first movie, that character knew he was going to get that damn car back. So at the beginning of the second movie, what happens? He's getting that damn car back. It's amazing. That second movie was beautiful, man. If you like stuff like that, it was awesome. But anyways, the point is John Wick lives by a code, a warrior's code, the John Wick code. Conan lived by a code, the warrior's code. What I'm telling you is in marketing, if you're here and you're a beginner and you're getting started, maybe if you're not even a beginner, maybe if you've been doing this for a little while, if you've been doing this for a little while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're a beginner, you might not know what I mean. Okay. Now, what I mean is the marketing world is not like the real world. In the real world, it's pretty easy to live good and just do the right thing. In the marketing world, the lines get blurry, and sometimes it gets harder to do the right thing. Sometimes there's the easy thing and then the hard thing. And sometimes the hard thing is the right thing to do. And sometimes you'll make enemies doing the right thing. Sometimes you're going to make enemies doing the wrong thing or the right thing. Sometimes you're going to have to make these really hard decisions about what's right and what's wrong. But these are decisions you're going to have to make all the time in marketing, especially if you're doing affiliate marketing, because there's new products coming out all the time, and there's always new things coming out, and you have to kind of decide, is this something I agree with on an ethical level? I remember back in 2000, I wrote down this definition. Let me say that first before I even get into what I wrote down. But this definition, right? Ethics, right? Moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity. Moral principles, right? Ethics, man. Like a set of moral freaking principles, man. Like John Wick, like freaking Conan the Barbarian. They govern a person's behavior. These are ethics, right? Ethics. a set of ethics that governs your behavior and how you act and how you handle your business and what activities you go into. Back in 2016, when I started Epic Conversions, I kind of wrote down this set of ethics, this set of I called them rules for success. I had 10 rules for success that I wrote down. And I knew then, because it wasn't my first online business, I knew then that I needed a set of rules to govern how I did, like Conan. Like I told you guys, I love Conan, and I needed my own set of rules, my own rules to live by, like Conan. And I felt like they weren't just rules for doing the right thing. I felt like they were rules for success on my terms, right? Because isn't that what we all want? We don't just want success. We want success on our own terms, right? So I'll give you guys those rules. These are the rules in 2016 that I wrote down, and now 2 years later, I guess we're into 3 years later into this business. Oh my God, the years are flying by so fast. Pretty soon I'm going to be walking around with a cane. But 3 years into this, I'll say I might add one rule. I might even add one rule, but I think probably it still fits into those same basic 10 rules. Honestly, if I really think about it, it's the same 10 rules for success, but let me give them to you. And you probably would need your own little set of rules to keep you flying right in this crazy world. Because I'm telling you guys, if you watch John Wick, listen, it's all in John Wick, okay? If you want to do internet marketing, John Wick has the rule book. It's all right there, all right? It's all right there. I mean, you got the happy above world that everybody sees. Then you got the seedy underbelly that nobody knows about. But it's all there, and everything's paid for with gold coins. It's all there, man. It's all listen, the playbook is right there written out for you, okay? John Wick 1 and 2. I haven't seen the third one yet. I'm sure it's going to be brilliant, though. Anyways, these are my 10 rules for success in 2016. I'm the boss. Rule number 1, I'm the boss. I do it my way, whether you understand it or not. All right? That's a rule that served me well, and I suggest everybody adopt a rule similar to that. Rule number 2, unto thine own self be true. Let's see if you guys can see that. Unto thine own self be true. And I would say any kind of rule that I wanted to add to this rule of 10, it probably just fits into this. Unto thine own self be true. So when you're looking to promote something, you really need to ask yourself, is this legitimate? I mean, would I promote this to my mother? Would I promote this to my is this something that I feel like is going to help people, or is this going to screw people over? Is this going to, in some way, shape, or form, really not help people at all? And I think this right here, rule number 2, becomes harder the further in you go, and the more money that's at stake. It becomes harder because we are humans, and we're very complicated creatures, and we are quite able to fool ourselves. We can fool ourselves into thinking something is perfectly okay to do. It's perfectly okay for this person to do this, so I'm going to promote this thing. And we fool ourselves into thinking it's okay, but like deep down, there's probably a little voice in the back of our head that's saying, yeah, you know what? That's not really that cool. That's kind of shady. Or that's kind of sketchy, or whatever, So yeah, I think it's important. Unto thine own self be true. And I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. You're going to make enemies. What I find that in this business, friends come and go and enemies multiply. That's what I found. Just ask John Wick, right? Number 3. Don't mess around with stuff you don't care about. I wrote these in 2016, and I find them just truer than ever today. Don't mess around with stuff you don't care about, right? That's an easy one to betray, It's easy to get, seduced by the power of a beautiful sales page and an idea, a big idea. It's easy to get sucked in by a big idea and then be like, man, this is the easy money right here. And then you don't really care about it. You're doing it, now all of a sudden you're spending time and energy doing something you don't care about. And it's, don't mess around with stuff you don't care about. That's the point. All right. Number 4, don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. All right. Simple. Don't be a coward. This business requires risk. You're going to have to put it all on the line sometimes. You're just going to have to do it, man. You're going to have to take that leap. You're going to have to take that leap of faith and just go all in. I don't know how to succeed in this business without going all in. I mean, you just got to go for it, and you're going to have to take some risks. They're not always going to pan out in your favor, but there's always going to be a lesson in there for you. Everything is telling you something. It's not just like base level failure. There's always going to be something there for you, no matter what. I've never just failed and not gotten something out of it. So don't be a coward, okay? Look at Conan. Look at John Wick. John Wick wanted that damn car back. Can you believe it? He went back into the fire in the second movie to get that damn car back, all over a car. Don't take what's mine because I'm coming to get it back. that was his code. Number 5, I don't care what other people think I'm good at, right? I don't care. I wrote these in 2016. I don't care what other people think I'm good at, right? When you're in this business, you're going to have a lot of people telling you their opinions about, what you should do or what you can do or what you ought to do, You got to be careful who you listen to, just because, everyone's got an opinion. Opinions are cheap. They're free. They're easy. Unless you've paid someone to help you succeed. Other than that, people are just, they're sunning you, man. I mean, sometimes people might be trying to give you good advice, but most people don't have like any skin in the game when it comes to your success. So it's like, why are they giving me all this free advice, And you start getting all this free advice from like 10 different places and it's all different. Pretty soon you don't know what the hell's going on. You're all confused. I think that like you got to follow your heart a little bit and not worry so much about what other people think, you're good at or what you should be doing or whatever. Take people's advice into consideration, but it's just consideration, man. You have to follow your heart above all things. So that's definitely a big rule for me, and it's definitely served me well over these last few years. 6, never doubt yourself, man. Never doubt yourself, all right? And I mean that. Vision is so important. At the beginning of your journey, you'll have this vision for what you want to accomplish, and I think that the farther in you go, the more you can add detail to that vision, the more you can hash it out. But don't doubt the vision, man. Don't betray your own vision. Never doubt yourself. If you believed it in the beginning, you can adjust it to make it true the farther in you go. But don't doubt what you set out to do. There's going to be so many people out there who doubt you and to stand in your way and obstacles that you have to overcome. There's no point in doubting yourself. So never doubt yourself. And I know that sounds very hallmarky, like very cliche. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. But just remember in those dark moments, when you're doubting yourself to sleep at night, your family's in bed and you're awake at 3 a.m. writing a freaking sales page. Just remember, man, it's all in. This time is for the money. You know what I mean? And it's there. It's there for the taking. You see other people getting it, you can get it too. But don't doubt yourself, because when you doubt yourself, everything else gets more sketchy. Everything else gets just a little more flimsy, and also it opens you up to believe in other people's visions. When you start doubting your own vision, you start getting pulled into other people's visions. Now, pretty soon, man, where are you at now? You're standing on this, rickety foundation that you don't even believe in. It's not even your foundation anymore. So, stand for something or fall for anything. You know what I mean? That's the truth. Stand for something or fall for anything. So don't doubt yourself, point blank. Number 7, plan to win, not to try. Retreat is not an option. And I wrote this down a couple years ago, and when I wrote it down, I was trying to tell myself, hey, look, this is the rule. This is the rule, man. Retreat is not an option. You're either going to make it here or you're going to die trying to make it here. You're not going to go back to the comfy little job where you're getting paid every 2 weeks or you're getting paid every week and you got the insurance and this and that and the other. That's over. That's the old life. You're on to the new life. That world is gone. That world is closed off to you. You don't want it back. You're either going to make it here or you're going to die trying to make it here. So when they put on your grave, it's going to say, Cam Jennings died trying to make a living on the internet. Right? Boom, right there on the gravestone. Retreat is not an option, right? And I think that comes back to just being all in, right? And it's easier said than done. I mean, I can sit here and say that to you and it sounds really cool or whatever. Yeah, we're going to John Wick this crap, and it sounds great. But at the end of the day, that's a battle you're going to have to fight alone in here. You're going to have to fight that battle in your mind alone. But that's when you gotta draw on your warrior strength, man. You gotta remember Conan. You gotta remember John Wick, and you can't go out like a chump. Don't be a chump, man. It's a battle you're gonna have to fight alone, and you're gonna have to stand strong. That's the problem with the world today, guys. There's too many chumps. There's too many. It's getting too soft around here, man. Too many softies. You gotta be strong, man. Strong. You gotta be tough. And women can be tough too. Transgender can be tough too. Gay people can be tough too. I'm not discriminating against anybody. Anybody, whoever you are, you're gonna have to be tough to make it here. 8. This is a big one. I don't make money from finding reasons or having excuses why I'm not getting something done. That's the truth. That's the truth. I don't make money from finding reasons or having excuses why I can't do something, right? I'm not saying I'm perfect, you guys, to the back burner, just like you guys. Sometimes I drag my feet on things I don't want to do, just like you guys. One thing I'm historically known to do is drag my feet on sales pages. Once I get products done, and then once I get to the sales page portion of it, I just drag my feet. I start trying to reinvent the wheel. I start trying to come up with new crazy sales pages, and it's dude, I guess I just don't like doing sales pages, but I drag my feet all the time on it. But the point is, guys, I'm not going to make money by dragging my feet. It doesn't matter what kind of reasons I come up with or what kind of excuses I come up with for reasons I'm not moving projects forward. At the end of the day, I will not make money if I don't move my projects forward, point blank. And that's the same for all you guys. And I do think this is where someone like me has an advantage over some of you guys out there who have jobs, because this is all I do for a living. So it is my job. And I know that if I don't do the things I'm supposed to do, I'm not going to make money. So I have to move forward. I feel the pressure, right? I have the pressure behind me. I feel that pressure. This is my job. Now, some of you out there might have a job. So then you don't have that same pressure. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to go quit your jobs. What I'm telling you is you have to be aware of that comfort level, right? Because being comfortable is the enemy of moving forward. Being comfortable is the enemy of getting away from where you're at now and getting to the place you want to be in, right? And when you're comfortable, right, it's hard to move to a different place. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. If you want to be up here and you're down here, it's much easier to jump over to here. If you got spikes in your back or something and you're not comfortable, you're in pain, you're I got to get out of here. But if you're comfortable, you're chilling. You're probably not going to stay up as late at night. You're probably not going to wake up as early in the morning as much. You're not going to be. So that's a battle. Get that comfort of having that alone. This is a big one. Number 9, always the lesson, right? And I alluded to that a little bit earlier. I said, no matter what you try, it's never just base level failure. There's always something to be had from what's happened. I've never tried anything that didn't produce, at the very least, a really good piece of content for me. Whether that was a failed launch, whether that was a failed advertising campaign, whether that was a failed business, whatever it was, at the very least, it produced a really nice piece of content for me. Sometimes several pieces of content. Several. So, there's never just base level failure. So listen, whatever you're doing out there, always seek the lesson, right? And then the last one that I had back 2 years ago was this one. It was, the world never gets tired of a problem solver. When in doubt, see rule number 4. And rule number 4 was, don't be a coward.